Well, hello and thank you for joining me for another Alex on Tech and iTWireTV interview. Now, whether you're a student or in the workplace, technology continues to evolve and create new opportunities for lifelong learning. Now, in a world that depends on people having digital literacy skills to perform a role, the importance of technology as a learning tool can't be underestimated. So today, I'm joined by Anna Goodman, Senior Director of People and Culture at D2L, to discuss how technology is helping women to overcome learning and accessibility barriers and create lifelong learning opportunities. So welcome to the program.
Thank you, Alex, for having me.
Thanks for taking the time. Now, Anna, before we get started, can you please remind our viewers of who D2L is and what services do you provide?
Okay, so D2L is, we like to start off by saying that D2L is transforming the way the world learns. We are a global educational company and our clients use our platform. It's actually called Brightspace, plus our services to help their learners meet their goals and their aspirations. So here, particularly in Australia and New Zealand, our local team is based in Melbourne and around Australia remotely, and we support learners anywhere across their lifelong journey, from schools to TAFEs to associations to corporates, government and to higher education. So what does our platform actually offer? So we have a suite of tools and features that actually create, manage and deliver online courses and training programs in every format. So we work on course creation and management, where instructors create and organise course materials, assignments, assessments, and including interactive course content, such as videos, quizzes and discussion boards. So our platform also allows for the creation of assessment and grading of assignments of quizzes and tests. And in addition, we provide analytics and reporting tools to allow instructors and administrators to track the learner's progress and performance throughout their learning journey.
And there's usually an interesting story behind the name. So what does D2L stand for?
So D2L was originally called Desire to Learn. And that was our CEO's creation of Desire to Learn as I mentioned earlier, to transform the way the world learns.
Sure. Now, part of what D2L offers its corporate clients involves micro-credentials. So can you please tell us what they are and how they work?
So micro-credentials is certainly a word of the moment globally, actually. And so what they are is it's a way of formally recognising a competency, a skill or a learning that has occurred in the workplace, in higher education or any type of vocational setting. So we all have skill gaps in our knowledge, right? We all know that. And this will continue to increase in all industries globally.
Sure.
So what micro-credentials do is they help skill set development. So your first qualification is really only the foundation, and 2/3 of learning occurs post-university or TAFE education. So not all industries, we need to bear in mind that not all industries are actually looking for full qualifications. Some of them are looking for the right skills in the right industries. And this is where micro-credentials play such a key part in this, because it helps meet the immediate needs for many industries and speed to market on what the current skills are that are required. We are facing a skill gap, and what this does is that the certification, anyone can acquire a specific set of skills or knowledge, and they're also designed to be smaller in scope and a topic, specific for ongoing learning and development and reskilling, more importantly for the future of work.
Now, we are recording this in the week of International Women's Day. There's been a lot of articles and a lot of information on iTWire about this. But so, I want to ask a question about women. And can you please share with us how micro-credentials are providing lifelong learning opportunities for women, either within the workplace or in the education system?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question, Alex. So, research is telling us that the time and circumstances can sometimes make it difficult for women to confidently demonstrate their learning in the workplace. So this is mainly due to the fact that they've taken time away from the workforce to raise a family or care for loved ones. In the past, they've built up the necessary skills and experience, but often do struggle to effectively demonstrate their capabilities and the value that they bring, particularly when they've been away from the workforce for a little while. So micro-credentials also provides a meaning of distilling one's skills and achievements into an easily recognised and accepted form. It makes it easier to compete for roles, new jobs, and even career changes. So some of these examples for women is, accessibility. So micro-credentials, they're delivered online and they can be completed at the learner's own pace. So this flexibility makes it easier for women who have competing demands, such as caring for children or elderly parents. So skill building, women who've taken the time away from the workforce to raise a family, as I mentioned, or care for a loved one, can use micro-credentials to upskill and reskill. And this also helps women stay competitive in the job market and continue to advance their careers. Another couple of points I'd like to raise on this is the recognition, that micro-credentials, they serve as tangible recognition on women's skills and knowledge, regardless of whether she holds a formal degree or not. So this is particularly important for women who many have taken a non-traditional career path or have had those breaks in their career. It also helps with diversity, equity, and inclusion because it's providing accessible opportunities for women to gain new skills and knowledge. And it can also address systemic barriers that women also face in the workforce.
So what are learning management systems, or LMS, and how do they differ from micro-credentials?
Okay, so a learning management system, it delivers and tracks the learner's progress through learning activities, as I mentioned earlier, assessments and achievement towards such micro-credentials. Micro-credentials have a standalone value and may also contribute to other micro and macro credentials. Through the learning management system, all micro-credential courses are delivered through a learning management system, and badges are offered at the completion of a micro-credential course. And the great thing about this is that they can be shared across a variety of platforms, including social media, and the badges are there for the learner for life. So wherever they go or whatever they do, their badges follow them.
Great. So what industries would use LMS, and for what type of training purposes?
Okay, so I think majority of industries globally use a learning management system in some type. If you look at government, for example, they would use it for training on policies, regulations, professional development, formal education, which is obviously all schools and colleges and universities, member associations. So this is for continuous learning for their paid members. Corporations, all types of corporations, they provide employee training, compliance training, onboarding. Not-for-profit organisations use it to provide training to their volunteers, their staff, their board members, on topics such as fundraising, advocacy and community engagement. Healthcare, it's very necessary in healthcare for continued education, recertification and ongoing training. Retail, they train on customer service, on product knowledge, sales techniques. And then obviously we've got the individuals in all aspects, including upskilling in micro-credentials in particular.
So how can a learning management system provide career development and learning opportunities for women with accessibility issues?
Yeah, so, accessibility comes in many forms. It could be difficulty in using stairs, it could be difficulty in accessing public transport, it could be limited access to information and communication technology. It could be challenges in finding employment or educational opportunities that accommodate their needs. So an LMS needs to be designed with, customizable learning paths. This enables learners and women to choose the courses and content that align with their career development, upskilling, and their reskilling. There's content diversity. I mentioned earlier, including formats such as videos, audio, and text to cater for all learning styles and preferences for women with accessibility issues. Collaboration tools. Forums, chat rooms and video conferencing to enable women to collaborate and communicate with their peers and in instructors. This creates a supportive and inclusive learning environment. Accessibility features. This is absolutely key. We need closed captioning, we need screenwriters, keyboard navigation, text-to-speech functionality to support the learners with visual, auditory or even motor disabilities. So to give an example, D2L's Pulse is a really great example where learners have the full access to their learning. D2L Pulse is actually for a phone or a tablet. It could be iOS or it could be a Samsung, an Android. Thank you. I was trying to think of the word. So, and it's fully accessible and provides exactly the same learning experiences they would gain in a classroom or sitting here at a computer. And the great benefit about Pulse is that it's been designed for learners on the go, and it goes through all of the accessibility requirements and standards that a learning management system provides.
Now, as someone who works as part of a people and culture team, what advice can you give other employers about how to best provide ongoing training and upskills to staff?
Yeah, look, this is one of my key passions. One of my greatest aspirations is to develop people and help develop people and see them go through changes in their career and promotions, and it's all about people first, and to be able to provide ongoing training, career development, to upskill and reskill. And what's also really important is to ensure that we are continuing to attract and retain our employees. So when we look at this, we look at identifying skill gaps. It's about really deep diving into looking at the job requirements, the role clarity, and the future planning on additional skills that are required in those roles. It's important that we ensure that clear goals and objectives are set, and these need to be clearly defined for ongoing learning opportunities. To ensure for organisations and corporations, to ensure that there's a variety of learning and development methods available. Everybody learns in different ways. Ensure that there's different opportunities to offer in-person training, online courses, webinars, coaching and mentoring all plays a key part in that as well. It's really important to encourage self-directed learning. We can talk about it, we can encourage it, but what we need to do is we need to encourage our employees to take ownership of their own learning and career development path, and make it a priority. Encourage them, and again, encourage them to take advantage of training opportunities within your organisation, and more importantly, be there to offer the support to help them succeed. Regular feedback. It's important that employees are provided with regular feedback. This also helps them with their skills and their knowledge. And reward and recognition. It's about success. And when you're rewarding somebody and you're announcing that on who successfully completed training and upskill programs, this not only motivates them to continue to strive to learn more, but it also helps others motivate and follow those steps to take advantage of learning and career or development opportunities. And we talk about the two main barriers when it comes to training and upskilling. It's time and it's money. And organisations should really consider offering learning days and education benefits to use towards further education for their employees. If organisations can invest in these two barriers for their employees, it will absolutely help in the future of work in narrowing the skills gap by upskilling and reskilling in the right areas, and again with retention and attraction. So at D2L, we support our employees globally through D2L's Waves program. So this is an online professional development and learning for our employees. So we believe in creating a culture to upskill our teams where employees want to bring the best of themselves to work every day. So it streamlines talent development, and it certainly does make it easier to build skills and empower growth. And the thing about what D2L Wave is not just for D2Lers. This program is available for any organisation, and these details you'll actually find on our website.
Sure. I mean, you're talking about the importance of staff. There was the great resignation, but now in the tech industry, there's been a lot of layoffs. And so people probably don't necessarily want to jump out of a job. They want to make sure they can jump back into one. But companies looking after their staff, retaining them, and as you were saying, rewarding them. I mean, this is going to be more important than ever before, because if a staff member goes, that's a lot of corporate knowledge or company knowledge that's gone, and they're not there to help teach newer people and encourage them. So it's all a vital part, and presumably, D2L business is growing.
Yeah, look, in like any industry, it's agile. Things change. What we did yesterday, we're not doing today, and we won't be doing tomorrow. And it's not just a D2L thing. It's a global organisational thing, and it's great to be able to provide the tools and the resources to continue learning. We offer what we call wave days. Where we allow our employees to take time off to actually study, and that's a really great incentive. And that's booked through our system. Doesn't come off their annual leave, and they're separate days to continue to encourage this.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, D2L is offering micro credentials and learning management systems. So, what is the website where they can go to learn and find out more?
Yeah, so it's the old cliche, isn't it? So go to www.d2l.com. So this website is actually quite extraordinary, and I might sound a little bit biased by saying that, but it's so easy to navigate. On our website, we've got micro credentials alone. We've got blog sections, we've got resource centres, we've got community forums, we've got social media channels, event sections. And there's a wealth of information on micro credentials and and our learning management system. There's case studies, white papers, ebooks, webinars, and new releases. And that's available for anybody to actually jump on and take a look.
Now, before we get on to some personal questions that I always like to ask the people I'm talking to, is there anything else about D2L that you want to mention right now before we move on?
Look, I said earlier that, career development and developing our people is a passion. And, I say it's for me, but it's not just for me. It's for all of our people and culture team. It's for all of our leaders. It's for all of our employees. We've created an amazing culture of learning within our organisation. We believe that learning is a lifelong journey. You said that in the very beginning. And what we do is reflect on this all the time and help us, our employees, get to the next stage. And as I mentioned, we want to ensure that our D2Lers come to work and give their best every day.
Wonderful. Now, as I said, I always do like to ask a couple of questions about you. So the first one is, can you please share a memory of your first computer?
Wow. Okay, so in year 10, it was one of the very old computers that had nothing but the black screen and the green writing. And correct me if I'm wrong here, because I don't remember it, but I remember putting in a 5 1/4
inch floppy disk, yeah.
Floppy disk, and we had to write our own program. And it was quite extraordinary that we did that on dot matrix, I'm going to say. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I do remember it. I tell you, it'd be a collector's edition to get a hold of one of those computers these days, for sure.
Yeah, how far we've come in all that time that we now have incredible, technology right in our pocket that can do everything and more by about 1 billion on steroids compared to those old computers.
Exactly. Very much so.
And what got you excited about education and joining D2L?
So I've been in education in the education industry for 17 years. Again, it's my passion to learn and develop and grow. I love waking up every day knowing I'm going to learn something new. I say that to my son all the time. What did you learn today? And I love hearing those stories. And education is absolutely my passion. And what got me to D2L was just the concept of where online learning is going to go in the future. And that was 10 years ago, when I started at D2L, and I look at how far education's come, I look at how far technology's come, I look at how far online learning's come. And as I mentioned, it changes every day. And I'm really looking forward to what the future holds on developing education even further.
Yeah, I mean, back then you would have had CDs or DVDs with video. Now it's all just streaming. You just hit a button and bang, it's playing. It's quite remarkable.
Well, it is. You can't even get a laptop with a CD drive anymore.
That's right. That's right. Now, my second last question is to ask if you could please share some of the best advice you've received in life to help you get where you are today.
Okay, so I want to go back into my teenage years here, and this is very quick. I remember my dad always said to me, and I'm not going to tell you what to do. You need to go figure that out. And I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to guide you to make the right decisions. And I've carried that all the way through my life, to guide people to make the right decisions. And we can offer suggestions, we can offer recommendations. Not everybody's going to agree with suggestions and recommendations, but I am where I am today because of that single piece of advice that my dad gave me. that we're here to guide people to learn, to grow and develop.
Yeah, I think an analogy might be that, some people are worried that the education systems are teaching people what to think when they should be teaching people how to think. And I like to think that your father was trying to guide you on how to think for yourself, as opposed to trying to drill you with whatever were his views.
Yeah, and that's one great thing about self-paced courses as well. I think that even the way that education is delivered these days is very different. There's a lot of collaboration when it comes to education these days, and that helps. You hear different, diverse points of view and different ideas, and we all learn from each other. And that collaboration is just so important.
So Anna, what is your final message to iTWire viewers and readers, and to your current and future customers and partners?
Take the advantage of everything that's out there to continue to learn, grow, and develop and upskill. It's, micro-credential courses, they're fun, they're self-paced. You can do it in your time, you can stop at any time. And the most rewarding thing is that you get a badge at the end. And when you see badges against your profile, it's a really good personal achievement. So just keep up learning.
Well, Anna Goodman, Senior Director of People and Culture at D2L, thank you very much for taking the time. I wish you the best of success, and I do hope we can talk again in the future.
Terrific. Thank you for your time, Alex. It's been a pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bye-bye.